Hey, everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we have some very big crypto security updates that you need to know about. It's related to hardware wallets, and this goes to every hardware wallet. So Ledger, which is the maker of the crypto hardware wallet, their CTO, Charles Guillemet, warns of a supply chain attack in the JavaScript ecosystem after an NPN account compromise. He advises users to carefully verify every transaction if using a hardware wallet and avoid on-chain transactions entirely if they don't. So be very careful here. Double check everything. Look out for things that look unusual. If you see something fishy or it just seems off, don't complete the transaction, folks. And just make sure that if you have downloaded any software recently, you just double check everything. If you bought a hardware wallet recently, be careful. Just make sure you go through all the process and make sure everything looks good. But these hackers, they're getting out of hand and they're trying to go after people in different ways. So this is not a crypto hardware wallet specific issue, but it affects crypto hardware wallets. So let me give you some more details. Hackers have compromised widely used JavaScript software libraries in what's being called the largest supply chain attack in history. The injected malware is reportedly designed to steal crypto by swapping wallet addresses and intercepting transactions. According to several reports on Monday, hackers broke into the Node Package Manager (NPM) account of a well-known developer and secretly added malware to popular JavaScript libraries used by millions of apps. The malicious code swaps or hijacks crypto wallet addresses, potentially putting many projects at risk. Here's a quote from Ledger's CTO. There's a large-scale supply chain attack in progress. The NPM account of a reputable developer has been compromised. The affected packages have already been downloaded over 1 billion times, meaning the entire JavaScript ecosystem may be at risk. So folks, bigger than crypto, but be careful. Anything that looks weird, double check everything, okay? So just be careful. I don't want you guys to lose your crypto. And if you need to move something and just anything that seems off, hold off. And then depending on your hardware maker, you can contact their support line to try to get some help. As the saying goes, verify, don't trust. So make sure you verify everything. So this is something we should all be aware of and pay attention. Speaking of security, SwissBorg hacked for 41 million SOL after a third-party API compromise. So this is pretty rough here. SwissBorg, a Switzerland-based crypto wealth management platform, said hackers exploited a vulnerability in the API of its staking partner Kiln, draining about 193,000 Solana tokens from its Earn program. The SwissBorg app and other Earn products are not impacted by the hack, the company wrote in a post on X. The stolen Solana tokens are worth roughly $41 million at the time of recording. So folks, be safe. But the good thing about some of these wealth platforms is that they have insurance and you're covered. So just make sure you're using firms that are reputable and that have insurance. For example, I Trust Capital, they have a premium custody account where you can't withdraw at all unless it's to a bank account because they convert your crypto assets to fiat. So even if you mistakenly try to send crypto somewhere else or whatever, you can't. It just goes straight to your bank account because it's set up kind of like a bank tiered custody. They use Coinbase custody, Fireblocks, Fidelity, and much more. And they, of course, are insured, FDIC insured. So the I Trust Capital premium custody account is one of the safest ways to custody your assets, folks. And they're working with banks and, like I said, the top custodians in the market, which are all insured. They also offer IRA accounts, which gives you tax benefits. So you can roll over your 401k or your existing IRA and invest in 80 plus crypto assets, trade 24/7, no monthly fees. It's low cost. And like I said, huge tax benefits. So this is a great option to invest in crypto assets and a very safe way to custody your assets. I think it's second to self-custody, where you can get a lot of benefits, and you know that you're getting the top tier in custodial services. And folks, if you sign up using my link, you can get a $100 funding bonus. I have an account with them, so check out iTrust Capital. The link will be in the description. All right, folks, we got some very big news across the market and across the globe around this asset class. So CoinShares is going to go public in the US through a $1.2 billion SPAC merger. So recently we've been seeing a lot of IPOs, public listings. Companies are getting bullish. Most recently we heard about Gemini. They're looking to raise $300 million and go public. So lots of folks just riding the bull market wave here. So European asset manager CoinShares has entered into a definitive business combination agreement with Vine Hill Capital Investment, a publicly traded special purpose acquisition company, also known as a SPAC. CoinShares announced Monday that the company will be publicly listed on the NASDAQ stock market in the US through the deal. This will allow investors to participate directly in trading CoinShares stocks, fueling its global expansions. The agreement values CoinShares at $1.2 billion before the new investment, making a significant step in the company's push into the United States. Folks, things are heating up. We're still in the bull market. That's why all these IPOs and public listings are happening. And you're seeing a lot of crypto companies do this. So very bullish, signs of a healthy market. Obviously, markets are cyclical, so this won't last forever. There will be a bear market, but this is where we want to ride the wave. And we want to look for things like this to give us confirmation that we are still in a bull market in addition to other factors. Now, look at this. HashKey launches a $500 million digital asset treasury fund in Hong Kong. So the digital asset treasury trend continues, and it's not only in the US, but it's global. So these folks are buying crypto assets. So that's very bullish, especially if you hold the tokens they're buying, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. There's even an XRP digital asset treasury company. So this is really great. So Hong Kong-based HashKey Group said it launched a $500 million investment fund targeting digital asset treasuries, initially focusing on exposure to Bitcoin and Ethereum's price performance. The fund is structured as a perpetual institutional-only vehicle, allowing regular subscriptions and redemption, similar to an open-ended crypto hedge fund, HashKey said in a statement. Unlike a passive exchange-traded fund, HashKey's fund is designed to invest in projects and companies deploying digital asset strategies. Folks, you're just seeing the financialization of this asset class, and all types of new funds and projects and products are being launched, so all bullish. Now, crypto, of course, as mentioned earlier, is a global asset class, and we're seeing movement everywhere. Kazakhstan's president calls for a national crypto reserve digital asset law by 2026. Do you see what's happening here? Some of the countries you wouldn't expect to be very bullish on crypto, they're all bending the knee here. It's pretty incredible. So the president of the Republic of Kazakhstan laid out plans for the country's AI and digital asset endeavors, which include a strategic cryptocurrency reserve. In an annual address on Monday, he said the government should create a full-fledged ecosystem of digital assets as soon as possible as part of efforts to find effective ways to maximize the return of bank money to the economy. He proposed having the country's Agency of Regulation and Development of the Financial Market draft a law to this effect to be passed before 2026. Plans for a national crypto reserve were also on the president's agenda. Folks, I mentioned it when the United States created a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and, they talked about getting legislation going. We would see game theory play out here. Other countries are going to follow, and no one wants to be last. So this is huge. Just very bullish news. All right, moving ahead, the SEC Crypto Task Force met today with several companies to discuss the convergence of crypto and AI. If you've been catching some of my interviews lately, this has been a big topic, talking about how AI fits with the blockchain ecosystem as well as markets. Eventually, folks, and I discussed this in my most recent interview with eToro's CEO, Yoni Assia. I published that interview this morning. We talked about AI agents will help you to trade and help you make decisions when it comes to investing, and will monitor your portfolio even when you're sleeping, because we're headed to a 24/7, 365-day market. No more opening and closing bells, as I've been saying for years. No more holidays and all these things. No more weekends. Markets will be trading 24/7. And that's why there's a race for the tokenization of assets, because in order to do that, you need to have the assets running on blockchain. So the SEC is discussing all these things, and it's pretty amazing. In addition, the SEC announced that the Crypto Task Force will host a public roundtable on financial surveillance and privacy on October 17th. So kudos to the SEC. They're doing a lot of great work here, giving the clarity, interacting with the industry, providing the guidance. And folks, I will be interviewing Commissioner Hester Peirce at the end of this month in my studio in New York City. So I'm really looking forward to that and doing a deep dive with her and discuss all of these things. And of course, I'm going to ask her about those altcoin ETFs, when XRP spot ETF, when Solana spot ETF, and much more. Now, the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services calls for the Senate to pass the Crypto Clarity Act market structure bill. So, folks, we know this has already cleared the House, which, the folks in the House are saying, hey, Senate, you're up to bat. You need to get this through. And we heard from White House crypto czar David Sachs a couple months ago that this is the month the ball is going to start rolling, where they have to go through all the different processes, vote on the bill to be reviewed, then it has to be discussed on the floor and all that before it gets passed, obviously. But look, it's a means to an end, and they're going to get it going. But glad to see the House is putting the pressure here. I see Congressman Tom Emmer, or GOP Majority Whip, talking about this. The Financial Services GOP also highlighting Senate has to get it done. And as I've been telling you guys, this is one of the blow off top, narratives and catalysts, because if this happens in October, and with global liquidity topping and all these other things that are happening, watch out. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen to the T, like the bill is passed on a Thursday in October or whatever in the second week, and that's when the market blows off. It's just, we're going to be in that top zone. So this is where let's keep an eye on how far this bill makes it and when it's about to get passed. So pay attention there. Folks, I got some big interviews lined up this week. I'll be interviewing folks from Ondo Finance, VeChain, Sui, and Flare Network. So stay tuned. Those interviews should be published next week, but I wanted to give you guys heads up. And if you have any questions you want me to ask folks at Ondo or Sui or Flare or VeChain, you can leave them in the comment section. So folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. A great way you can support me is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's on Substack. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. So if you'd like to expand your knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. This is the course for you. Go to mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.